We've seen sales tax revenues drop as if they were falling off a cliff.
2 years ago, in the spring of 2010, local governments all across the country were struggling to get through the Great Recession. Tax revenues were in free fall. The challenges were daunting. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg library system announced the closing of 12 branches and the layoff of a third of the system's staff. And the cuts for the library didn't stop there.
The shelves are full, but the aisles are empty. That's because it's Monday, and budget cuts mean the main branch of Charlotte's library is closed.
Public library systems across the country are struggling with deep budget cuts, employee layoffs, closed branches, reduced hours.
On July 26, 2010, the county received a $75,000 grant from Foundation of the Carolinas to establish the task force, and appointed former Chancellor of UNCC and interim Chancellor of NCSU, Dr. James Woodward, as its head.
Both the library board and our professional librarians recognized that the reduced funding caused by the economic downturn wasn't a temporary blip. It was the new reality. And they were ready to get on with running the best library they could with the resources we were able to provide.
In January 2011, with the task force poised to release its recommendations in just 2 months, the library faced yet one more challenge, a change in leadership. Director Charles Brown announced that he was stepping down, and the library board brought in a new person, Vick Phillips, to step into the new role of CEO.
Okay, so I first met Vick at the Starbucks on Providence Road. Bob Sink had set up the meeting, and I had no idea what to expect because I Googled Vick, and there was nothing, and not even a picture that I could find. And but I figured if Bob and Robin had found this person, that they had to be really good. And so I went to Starbucks and I met him, and at the time he also had walking pneumonia, but was still taking on this job. And so I went and met him at Starbucks. I immediately knew, okay, this is going to be a great person. And even to the point where I was fumbling to find a pen, and he just magically materialized a pen out of his pocket. You know Vick, he's always prepared.
Vick may have been unknown to Google, but he was well known to people in Charlotte.
He cares about the community, but he has a razor-sharp intellect, and he goes about it in a way that is open and clear, and just the way he thinks about problems has a calming effect on everybody around him. Whether you're on the trustees, whether you're at the county, or whether you're on the staff, he's good to the core.
Vick once served as Chief of Staff to former Bank of America Chairman and CEO Hugh McCall. He had built a long and successful career as a behind-the-scenes leader and a change manager.
Vick really liked flying under the radar screen. And when he worked at Bank of America and worked for its then chairman, Hugh McCall, he was behind the scenes on a lot of things. So the public limelight is probably not what Vick bargained for, but he plays it really well.
And, I'm pretty pleased with how this came out. It defines what each of us does individually, but then the areas where we should cooperate and make decisions together.
Drawing upon all that experience, Vick played a lead role in daily and strategic operations of the library and guided the library's budget and planning process. And he prepared for the implementation of the task force's recommendations.
I was on the committee of several commissioners who worked with several members of the Library Board of Trustees on the very challenging issue of the last year and whether we were going to be able to provide additional funding to the library system so they could avoid closing a list of libraries. And I'll never forget, we had a great meeting of the group, and Vick showed up, I think, with a bunch of M&Ms or candy bars, and we all ate those, and it was pretty hard to be disagreeable after that. But he sure knew how to get consensus among a group, and it was a real great outcome for the library and for the county, and we're very grateful that we had him while we did. As I said, he was the right man at the right time.
He really helped calm the waters. And he calmed the waters by bringing a straightforward business approach and clarity. And one of the first things he did was to pull the staff together and talk about where we were going, and that he would constantly communicate with them. So he has a sense of quiet self-confidence that it's contagious for everyone.
One funny Vic thing is when you have a conversation with him and you say something where he maybe wants to help you kind of get to a slightly different conclusion, he'll say, yes, let me say that in a different way. And he'll state back what you just said, but he makes it better.
Vic's ability to see opportunity in difficulty led to a great partnership with Mecklenburg County Manager Harry Jones. Vic and Jones were in the same boat, facing one of the biggest challenges of their careers.
He is so good. He's excellent. That's the right word, excellent, in terms of how he keeps people informed, whether it's by text messaging, whether it's by emails, or the verbal communication. He is so good at it. And I think working for Hugh McCall, you learn how to communicate and to keep people informed, and that's carried over into his work here.
Another county official who worked endless hours with Vic was Hyong, director of the Office of Management and Budget.
Well, Vic's been a great guy, and I'm really sorry to see that he's going to be leaving the libraries. But, having him there has really made, budgeting for public library expenses really easy. So it's been a great relationship with him. We're going to miss him. And, we wish him the best.
Well, good. Welcome to the library, folks.
It's now more than 2 years since the budget was the all-consuming issue. We worked hard as a community to keep our resources intact, yet find a better direction for our future. It's leadership that guides, but it's building trust that's the key to any success. Vic helped create that atmosphere at the library, the feeling that everyone's contributions are appreciated.
We have people in all different kinds of roles here, and he respects those people and their expertise and lets them do what they do best. And so I think a lot of that kind of calm, directness, respect, caring just really helped get us from a place of a lot of anxiety, angst, and uncertainty to a place of calm and growth and innovation too. So we're definitely in a much better place 18 months later than we were when he came on board.
A legacy is a funny thing, Mark Twain said. Everyone remembers it differently. With Vic, we all remember a person who taught each of us something while he was busy doing what needed to be accomplished.
So I was meeting with Vic, and he was giving me some advice, and he said, always begin as if you have already made the sale. And I think that's what he does when he goes in front of the county commissioners or our board or the media. He just speaks as if he's already convinced them, and in that he has, because he believes it so strongly too. And he always has all of the facts and the confidence to back that up, and it really works.
The legacy that Vick Phillips will leave here is that the community is still glued together. We won't miss that because he's leaving it. He's leaving a legacy behind. But we'll miss his combination of sense of humor, his almost leprechaunish way of doing things. We'll miss the bow tie too.